And welcome back to another CBB Talk with your boy Will Dickinson. We're here with another Big 12 Big 12, Big 10 preview. God, I messed it up. Anyways, we're going live. Big 10 preview. We're here on Monday night. This will probably be posted on Tuesday, but so the time I'm watching this, the ACC one's already up, and so is the Big 12 one's up. I'm looking at these scores right now. Looks like Furman's up 5. UNCW's about to pull off an upset on Hofstra, up 3 now, and Louisiana's up 3 on South Alabama for the Sun Belt Championship. So 2 more bids being taken tonight, but tonight we're talking about whenever you're watching this, we're talking about the Big 10. We got our awards. We got, of course, got the 4 awards. You know it. If you watch these last 2 videos, we have the Freshman of the Year, the Transfer of the Year, the Coach of the Year, and the Player of the Year. And we'll give you my top 3 guys and give you the winner. And then we'll go through the Big 10 bracket, give you my thoughts about it. So let me go pull up my awards and let's get it. So here it is, the Big 10 awards and conference preview. I'm not going to make no mistake by pressing on the keyboard because I've been doing that a lot recently. So here we go, the Big 10 awards and conference predictions. Here it is, the Freshman of the Year. This is called the Greg Oden Award because I was going to give Chris Webber it, but I wanted to give Greg alone some light because, he is a forgotten guy. I mean, one of the greatest college players, I wouldn't call Greg Oden a complete bust because it was more injuries that got him, but of course he did not live out to expectations. But this is going to be known as the Greg Oden Award. So let's get into our nominees for the Greg Oden Big 10 Freshman of the Year. Bryce Sensabaugh, Ohio State. Braden Smith, Purdue. And Jalen Hood-Schifino, Indiana. All 3 guys, we got wings, we have guards. All 3 guys have made major impacts on their team. Bryce Sensabaugh leads freshman in points, almost averaging 17 points a game and 6 rebounds. But the thing about Ohio State is they're the second worst team in the Big 10 this year. And they were one of the worst teams in the Big 10, but he's such a good player, man. I think, last year was Malachi Branham, this year it's him. They're just not an NCAA tournament team right now, but he's been a beast. I mean, he can do it from everywhere on the court. He's a great mid-range player, great driver, and also a pretty good defender. And he's good size, going to be an NBA talent for sure. And Braden Smith's the guy who's going to stay in college, and he's not even the leading freshman scorer on his team. He's actually 7th in points per game for freshmen. I know Jet Howard fans are a little salty here, but he's only played this is Big 10 regular season stats. My bad. I don't know. I forgot I had it on this. So yeah, Braden Smith is actually the 6th leading scorer, 2nd leading on his team. I know Jet Howard, he's averaging 14 points per game, but Michigan's not as good as a team. I already have a bad team player a bad team with a good player with Bryce Sensabaugh. So Braden Smith, he's 1st in freshman in assists, 1st in steals. And he plays the 3rd most minutes. So he's been really impactful this Purdue team, one of the best teams in the nation. And then Jalen Hood-Schifino, dude, these last couple weeks, he's really cemented himself as one of the best players in honestly the nation. Him and Trace Jackson Davis as a duo can lead Indiana to far places, and maybe they're the favorite to win the Big 10 tournament. We'll see. But Indiana playing really good right now, and Jalen Hood-Schifino really is taking over that point guard role with Xavier Johnson out, and he's been just amazing this whole year. So this is a tough award. Who is going to get it? So let's see who my Greg Oden Big 10 freshman year. The award goes to Jalen Hood-Schifino from Indiana. I mean, he was a highly touted freshman coming to Indiana. He got off to a slower start, really, but now in these last couple weeks in Big 10 play, he cemented himself. We saw the game against Purdue. He had over a 30-point game carrying this team. He's the point guard of this team. I mean, he's averaging 4 assists per game. He's 2nd in freshman in assists. He's just a great playmaker, a great shot maker, and he's a great creator. This dude has NBA talent. I expect him to be a lottery pick. Honestly, an underrated NBA talent. But yes, I got Jalen Hood-Schifino winning the Greg Oden Big 10 Freshman of the Year. It was close between him and Bryce Sensabaugh, but since Indiana's, going places in the tournament and Ohio State's not, I lean towards more Hood-Schifino. But both those other 2 candidates were great players, and Jet Howard was just the 4th guy, missed it. Next up is the Duncan Robinson Transfer of the Year. Of course, Duncan Robinson came from a D3 school and came to Michigan and made a huge impact and was a key factor in getting Michigan to the national championship in 2018. So this award is after Duncan Robinson for the Transfer of the Year. We got a lot of great talents in this one. So let's see the nominees for Duncan Robinson Big Ten Transfer of the Year. Jameer Young, Maryland. Terrence Shannon Jr., Illinois. Matthew Meyer, Illinois. 2 Illinois guys here. And, of course, Illinois got off to a really hot start to start this year. Terrence Shannon is actually – oh, shoot. Okay, good. I thought I messed it up. And I thought I just showed who won. But thank God I didn't. I avoided that. So, Terrence Shannon's 7th in the Big Ten points. He averages 17 a night with 4 rebounds and around 3 assists there. And Illinois is going to be a tournament team there. Of course, they got a big game coming up in the Big Ten tournament, their first round matchup. That will be very interesting to me. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yes, Terrence Shannon, of course, made a big impact, and so has Matthew Meyer. It was between him and Dawson Garcia, but since Minnesota is not a good team, Matthew Myers had really big games in a team that's going to make the NCAA tournament with Illinois. So both those players have been such a good duo for them. Terrence Shannon's really been amazing. And then Jameer Young, he's the engine of this Maryland train, and this team in Maryland is going to be an NCAA tournament team, and they can win games in there because of him. They got a great offense, and especially when they play at home in Maryland, this team can win any game against any team. They've only lost 1 home game all year, and it was to UCLA. So yeah, all 3 of these guys, this was a tough one. This was maybe the toughest transfer of the year pick for me. And I really didn't know who I was going to give it to. I'm going to be honest, Matthew Meyer was there. I was between Terrence Shannon and Jameer Young. So here it is. The Duncan Robinson Award for Big Ten Transfer of the Year goes to Jameer Young from Maryland. I know Terrence Shannon averaged more points, but I think Jameer Young actually makes a bigger impact on this team. I know Terrence Shannon, they've won games without him in Illinois. And Jameer Young, he averages 4 rebounds, 3 assists a night for Maryland, who I think he's their best player by far. I think Illinois has a lot of good guys on there. I know they have Coleman Hawkins. They have Matthew Meyer. I think Jameer Young is really just the point guard. When Maryland needs to win big games, they go to Jameer Young every time, and he's really been turning up these last couple weeks in Big Ten play. The Charlotte transfer there, he came from a solo school while other guys, Terrence Shannon and Matthew Meyer, both came from the Big 12, both came from big schools. He came from a small school, went up, and that's what the Duncan Robinson Transfer of the Year is for. And Jameer Young did that perfectly. So congratulations, Jameer Young, on winning the Freshman Transfer of the Year in the Big Ten. Next up is the Bob Knight Award for Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. And Bob Knight, legendary coach, Indiana, had a name award after him. I have the Coach K, we're Bill Self. So he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Had to give him the award. So here are your nominees for the Big Ten Coach of the Year. Chris Collins, Northwestern. Oh my God, I forgot Penn State's coach's name. And then Matt Painter. Oh my God, I literally told myself, don't forget the Penn State's coach's name. And I literally did. I am so sorry. Micah Shrewsbury. I literally told myself, don't forget. I knew it was a long name, and I literally just blanked on it right then. And Micah Shrewsbury, Chris Collins, and Matt Painter. 3 great coaches. Of course, Shrewsbury from Penn State. They were projected to finish bottom 3 in the conference, and right now they're on the cusps of making the NCAA tournament. I think a win against Illinois in the tournament in their first round, I think, will cement themselves as a team in. Chris Collins, this team was projected also in the bottom of the North in the Big Ten, and he comes out and gets second place in the regular season of the Big Ten. They've been playing amazing, and they're a team that's going to make the NCAA tournament. A great story from this Northwestern team. It's only the second time in program history they're going to make it. And Chris Collins, the head coach of that, and then Matt Painter. They were projected, 4th, I think, in the Big Ten, and they come out and now they're on cusp of getting a 1 seed. If they can win this Big Ten tournament, they probably will get a 1 seed there. And it's just amazing to see what he's done. He's turned Zach into maybe the Big Ten Player of the Year. We'll see. and just got these underrated freshmen to come in and play good. So all three of these coaches done an amazing job. I'm sorry, Michael Shrewsbury, for getting your name. I literally was trying to remember it, and then I just blanked on it with all these names I'm remembering what to say. So I'm very sorry. Michael Shrewsbury, Penn State. I love the way that he's dressed right there. I like the coaches that wear the suits. But here is your Big Ten Coach of the Year. The Bob Knight Award goes to Chris Collins, Northwestern. I think it was just right. I know Matt Painter was close there, but the reason it's Chris Collins is because the expectations that he's gone through, the controversy, the near firings he's gone through just to get this team to finish second in the Big Ten and will make an NCAA tournament is just amazing. Matt Painter, I know Purdue's always a good team, and I understand that they exceed expectations, but Northwestern was never thought to make the NCAA tournament. They've pulled off upsets. They play good. They don't have a star player. I mean, Boo Buie is really, really good, but he's not, a Zach Edey type guy. So Northwestern will win. Chris Collins will win from Northwestern the Bob Knight Award for Big Ten Coach of the Year. And here it is, the major award, the Trey Burke Award for Player of the Year. And I understand he only won it once, but Trey Burke in college, man, was something different from Michigan. Of course, he had that big time shot. Was it the Sweet 16, Elite 8? He hit that big time shot. Trey Burke. This is the Trey Burke. I really wanted to give it. I didn't want to give it to Luka Garza, honestly. I didn't want to. I wanted to give it to Frank Kaminsky, but I gave it to Trey Burke because Trey Burke's one of my early college basketball memories. So this is the Trey Burke Award for Player of the Year. Let's meet your nominees. Trace Jackson Davis, Indiana. Jalen Pickett, Penn State. And Zach Edey, Purdue. All three of these players play a lot different. Of course, Trace Jackson Davis is what you would call a 5, maybe not 5 in NBA terms, but a 5. He plays in the post he's a left-hand player with Zach Edey. He's just so amazing of, playing off the bounce. He's not the tallest center, but he can get off. He's not a great shooter, but he'll take one dribble, bounce, and he can dunk on anyone. He's so good in the paint. And he's Indiana's best player by far. Him and Hood Schifino, great duo. But when Trace Jackson Davis is cooking, no one can stop him. He can hit a little mid-range shot, but really he gets all his work inside the paint. And at his size, it's impressive how good he is there. And he's averaging 20 points per game on one of the best teams in the country. And honestly, he might be the player of the year. Him and Zach Edey are that close, I'm gonna be honest. Next up was Jalen Pickett. Maybe my favorite player in college basketball. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of like the closest guy to being a triple double. He leads the league in assists per game at 7, and he's barely outside the top 5 in rebounds. He averages 6.5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 18 points. This dude is amazing. He's all over the court. He has to play a lot of minutes for this Penn State team, and he's the sole reason. Shout out to Cam Whitner because he had 2 buzz beaters. Without him, Penn State wouldn't be close to the tournament, and what he's done to get this Penn State team, maybe one win away from being in the NCAA tournament. And then Zach Edey. I think everyone knows about Zach Edey at this point. He averages 22 points per game. It's unstoppable force. It's insane to see his progression over these years. Only in his junior year, and he's progressed so much to become one of the best players in college basketball, if not the best. He averages 13 rebounds, 22 points. He never fouls. He's always in the right spot. He freaking plays 32 minutes a game, so he doesn't get tired from being 7'4". It's not just his height. He has real skill, and that's the reason he's on this list. And your winner for the Trey Burke Award for Big Ten Player of the Year goes to Zach Edey. It was close between him and TJD, but I had to give it to Zach Edey because what he's done throughout the whole year. And Purdue is a top 5 team in the nation, the number 1 team in the Big Ten, could be a number 1 seed, and he's just unstoppable in the paint. He can shoot over anyone, especially when he gets in that left hand. He's just so versatile as a big. His defense is so good. He doesn't foul. He averages almost 2.5 blocks a game. Trace Jackson averages 3 blocks. These are 2 of the best players in college basketball with Zach Edey, man. It's just his team's better, and he's honestly they've been pretty even in Big Ten play, but that non-Big Ten play really gave Zach Edey the edge because they're even in Big Ten play. I know Trace Jackson's beat Zach Edey twice, so that was almost the reason I picked Trace Jackson Davis. But I had to give it to Zach Edey because he's probably going to win National Player of the Year. So I give him this, and it's another big man that's going to win a Player of the Year here. Zach Edey, man, he deserves it, and will win, and is going to win Big Ten Player of the Year. So I'm going to pause it and bring up this bracket and get my thoughts about that. So here it is, the Big Ten tournament, a 14-team tournament, similar to the ACC, except there's only 2 games the first day. It starts on Saturday, and it always ends on Sunday. It's the last game before the selection Sunday, before the brackets filled out. So usually the game won't mean too much, but that could be the difference between getting a 1 seed, a 2 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed, so on and so forth. But this bracket, man, there's 10 teams that can make the tournament. In this, honestly, 12 teams, Wisconsin, 11 teams that can make this tournament out of the Big Ten, and obviously not all of them are going to miss it or make it. And I think, I'm going to be honest, right? Wisconsin's obviously going to win probably 2 games to make it, but here are the teams that I don't think will make it. I don't think Rutgers is going to make this tournament. What a choke job from Rutgers. I'm a guy who likes to root for Rutgers too, by the way. They beat Purdue earlier. I thought they were going to be a lock. They were ranked for a long time in my top 25, and now you go and play Michigan for your first game. Of course, this is in Chicago. It always is in Chicago, but you gotta go play Michigan the first game, man. Or is it not? Maybe it's not always in Michigan. Maybe it's in Indianapolis sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, they play Michigan first game, and I don't think Rutgers can beat Michigan, honestly. Michigan, I think, is playing really good, and I think they're going to give Purdue a run. I don't know if they're going to beat Purdue, but I think Michigan's going to knock Rutgers out of the tournament, and Michigan's probably going to have to beat Purdue to get in. So that whoever loses that game will be eliminated from making the tournament there. So that's automatically one out there. Penn State, Illinois. I think Penn State's going to need to win this game to get in. If they lose, they'll be maybe the last team in, maybe first team out type team. But if they win this game, I think that solidifies themselves no matter what they do against Northwestern. They can beat Northwestern. I think Maryland will get to play Indiana, and that game will be very interesting. And I think that Iowa will play Michigan State in another rematch. So if I had to pick, it would be Purdue versus Michigan, that quarterfinal game. And man, that would be a really good game, but I think Purdue would hold on and probably knock Michigan out of the tournament. So I think the Big Ten ends up getting 9 teams. I think they end up getting 9 teams in, and I don't think Michigan or Rutgers will make it, or Wisconsin. I think those 3 teams will miss because Michigan has to win 2 games. Rutgers will probably have to win 2 games. Wisconsin would have to win 2 games. If Rutgers won 1, they would have a chance, but I don't see them beating Michigan. Iowa, Michigan State, the rematch. Iowa had that crazy comeback 2 weeks ago. Then they get to play again. That'd be a really, really good one. I want to say Iowa's going to win this, but they came off a weird loss. Who they lose? They lost to Nebraska, I'm pretty sure. I think Michigan State's going to win this. Tom Izzo always does great in March there. Penn State, Northwestern, a great game. Boo Buie, of course, is going to play Jalen Pickett, 2 of the best players in the conference. And I think Penn State's got it in them to make a little run to the semifinals. I really do. I think that will put themselves in, and probably not in the first 4. I think they'll get maybe a 10 seed or 11 seed if they win both those games. So I'm going to have Penn State making the semifinal. Indiana and Maryland will be a really good game, but Maryland doesn't play great away from home. Give me Indiana there. And then it'll be Indiana. I think it'll be Indiana versus Purdue rematch, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. Give me Purdue to beat Indiana in the championship game, and I'm a fool because there's always a team that makes it around the Big Ten tournament there. But give me Purdue to beat Indiana in the Big Ten championship there. And then of course, I already know my dark horse is Penn State to win it all because I really love the way they play. And if Michigan can get past Purdue in that second round, I think my 2 dark horses would be Penn State and Michigan to go and run the table in this Big Ten tournament. Wisconsin can definitely make some noise because they play really good. They play good in that neutral site. Of course, they play good in Battle for Atlantis. They almost beat Kansas, I think. So yeah, Wisconsin could make a run, but my 2 real dark horses are Penn State and Michigan there. So yeah, my official prediction though is Purdue to win it all. Let's see if I'm right. Another good episode of CBB Talk. I think I'll be posting this Tuesday morning, and I'll have SEC and Big 12 out later. I think I'll have One of them Wednesday morning and one of them Tuesday night, but we'll see which one it is. So yes, thanks for watching this CBB Talk. Go watch my other ones. Go watch my ACC and Big 12 awards and predictions. So thanks for watching. Peace out.